Hello, everybody. Welcome here to the Wine with Jimmy channel. I am your host, Jimmy Smith, with the most, maybe, who knows. Welcome to a series here looking at Spanish wines. We're focusing here on the central Mediterranean coast of Spain, looking at Valencia and Murcia. Now, this is for those of you really getting into this area or studying it for your WSET Diploma. We're on part 5 here, looking at the DO of Jumilla. So let's have a look on this. So this is our series. So parts 1 to 4 only available on my e-learning portal over at winewithjimmy.com. This video, along with the 6th video, available as free content. So Jumilla, if you have any comments, if you have anything to say, maybe you've been to Jumilla, Alicante, Valencia, maybe you like paella, maybe you just like the wines of this area, get in touch and comment on this video. Okay, let's talk about Jumilla's location first of all. It's located in Murcia on an area of flat plains and wide valleys between Alicante in the east and then the La Mancha to the west. So there is the Iberian Peninsula. That's where we find Jumilla. And here is it sort of blown up in a much grander scale. See, Jumilla is the town in the southern section of this area. It actually lies, Jumilla, in 2 regions. So mainly in Murcia, but also Castilla-La Mancha. Murcia holds 40% of the vineyards, whilst Castilla-La Mancha has 60% of the vineyards, but 70% of the wine production happens in Murcia. So maybe bigger yields in Murcia, but moreover, the bodegas. Around 25,000 hectares in play here in Jumilla, making it fairly sizable. So just under half the size of La Rioja and bigger than Ribera del Duero. Climate of Jumilla. It is a warm continental climate with hot summers, cold winters, because of course we are further away from the Mediterranean. The altitude of vineyards lie between 400 and 800 meters, and this altitude is what provides a cooling influence and gives this quite significant large diurnal range shift, which gives you, of course, higher acidities. The annual rainfall is extremely low. It's somewhere around 250 to 300 millimeters per year. So, of course, irrigation is something that needs to be considered, as drought can be a problem, but soils here can be something of importance in helping the area. Let's talk about that. So the soils here, which are generally sand on top of limestone, but I've got a brilliant picture there from the DO Jumilla of these wonderful limestone angular rocks. Now, limestone, when it's a compact subsoil, actually retains good amounts of water, which means that the vines can tap into that storage as they will need to in such a low rainfall area. Key grape variety here, of course, is Monastrell. Now, if you want to go into much greater detail in this grape, please go to my video on the likes of DO Alicante and also other parts of Valencia. This is really just recapping what it's like in Jumilla. So the dominant grape is Monastrell, making around 80% of plantings. It's well suited to the low rainfall, as we know before, and the extreme heat. Now, generally, wines here made from Monastrell are full-bodied with high alcohol, with blackberry and black cherry characteristics, and typically a smidgen of spice from some form of oak, like American oak. Now, in very good examples, there is good concentration with good acidities. The other varieties allowed here in Jumilla is Cencibel, which is Tempranillo, Garnacha Tintorera, which is Alicante Boucher, Garnacha Tinta, Cabernet Sauvignon, Merlot, Syrah, and even Petit Verdot. They're often blended with Monastrell to lower the wine's tannin levels. The DO also makes quite plush, darker rosés, which are made from Monastrell. There's also a tiny amount of white made in the area as well. Now, during most of the 20th century, Jumilla was solely a producer of inexpensive wines sold in bulk. However, in 1989, the region was devastated by phylloxera, and after that, a significant proportion of vines were taken up and replanted. Therefore, there was a chance to use virus-free rootstocks and higher quality clonal selection of Monastrell that had been previously planted. This with improved vineyard management, canopy management, winemaking techniques like earlier harvesting and cooler fermentation temperatures has led to a real significant rise in quality here. There's still also a fairly decent proportion of old vines that were not affected by phylloxera and have not been grubbed up, and they can produce low yields of very high quality fruit. The wine business here. So the region is made up of somewhat of 2,000 grape growers and only around 40 wineries, including cooperatives. High volumes of inexpensive wines are the majority of the production of the DO, but they are generally much higher quality than they have ever been. And there are also several producers that are now focusing on making wines of very good quality that typically sell at medium, high, and premium prices. The examples include those from Bodegas El Nido and also Casa Castillo. Another real fascinating pioneer in the region focusing on terroir is the bottle you see on the left-hand side. That is Bruma del Estrecho de Maran. And this is one of their real great high altitude sites, the Finca CQ, which is a wonderful expression of a wine. So please do look out for it. In the background is another famous one, which is a cooperative, which is Bodegas Bleda. Okay, well, that brings me to the conclusion of DO Jumilla. Please join me for the last video looking at DO Yecla and other DOs, really DO Buyas, which is found in the southern section of Murcia. If you do have any comments, questions or concerns, please get in touch by commenting on this video below. Always nice to hear from you. Do you like Jumilla? What do you drink Jumilla with? What gastronomy? Have you been to the area? What are your favorite wines? All of those things are nice to hear. If you do find yourself in the UK, come and see me at one of my establishments for a class, a glass, more likely a bottle. I've been Jimmy Smith. Ciao for now. Goodbye.